The British colony of Nigeria was created in 1914 via British colonial rule. The creation of the country we know as Nigeria was done by joining over 250 different ethnic groups in that region of West Africa that spoke different languages and practiced different faith. The three major tribes in Nigeria are the Hausa Fulani, the Igbo, and the Yoruba tribe. The country was divided into north and south. The Hausa Fulani tribe occupied the northern region. The Igbo tribe occupied the southeast region. And the Yoruba tribe occupied the southwest region. Africa is the most minerally rich continent in the world. The basis for European colonization was done in order to control the resources of the land.
Nigeria was big in agriculture then. The north was known for its groundnut production. The east was known for its yam production. The west was known for its cocoa production. All of these things were produced without added value until they were sent to European factories where they were converted into manufactured goods.
The country we know as Nigeria was created because of the agricultural products each region produced.
Nigeria being a colony of the British, the economy was structured in such a way that it became the source of raw materials for metropolitan factories in Europe. So they built railroads, they built highways, but for the interest of moving raw materials from the hinterland to the harbor where these things were shipped. So there was never a time that Nigeria as a colony was known for its manufacturing or anything. As a colony, Nigeria was the producers of raw materials and also served as a market for manufactured goods from Europe.
As Nigeria began to advance in the 1920s, one tribe stood out from the rest: the Igbo people. The Igbos excelled in the education introduced by the British and quickly emerged as the most progressive ethnic group in Nigeria. The Igbos were very unique.
It's hard to find any cultural group that is more dynamic than the Igbos.
The Igbos were responsible for building, starting so many industries in Nigeria, in every part of Nigeria. In Port Harcourt, in Kano, in Kaduna, in Lagos, in Ibadan, you name it. They were all there because we were called ubiquitous.
When Igbos go into a place, they accept that place as their place. And they get into the politics of that place. They get married to indigenous people. They get into business in there, and they help everybody else in there. That's how Igbos have always worked. Igbos don't go to a place and say, okay, hi, I'm a stranger. I just stay here and go, let me get your money and get out. No, Igbos goes in there to establish.
We are everywhere. And wherever we are, we try to build infrastructure to help, with the development of, the particular location.
They wake up in the morning, they see an Igbo man running for council, for city council, because he wants to be a part of that group of, that culture. He doesn't want to be an outsider. That's the Igbo man, and that's why they're very successful.
The Igbos would continue to progress in Nigeria, and in the late 1950s, the Igbos would become very strong voices and would ultimately lead the independence movement from Great Britain. Nigeria gained her independence from Great Britain on October 1st, 1960. Nigerian independence meant the dawn of self-rule. The citizens of Nigeria were very excited and ready for the challenge.
When you rule yourself, you are no longer under the control of some power. So people were very happy at the time.
It meant everything for people who were around that time. It meant everything. and I witnessed it. I was only a kid, but I know. I mean, there was celebration all over the country, free day for all the schools. It meant everything. Yeah, but nobody knew what was going to be down the road. Yeah.
Many Igbos believed that when Nigeria gained its independence in 1960, their former colonizers forged profitable business deals with the incoming leaders that they appointed before their departure. The Igbos believed that this was done to sustain their interests with the country.
Little did we know that the independence we gained was just political independence. Political independence without economic independence, does not really help anybody at all. And the people, the Nigeria was already in debt as a result of the debt bequeathed to them by their colonizers. Okay, so things started to fall apart shortly after independence due to power tussle and corruption, due to the fact that the people are of different tribes. As far as somebody could be talked into, providing the British with what they needed, that was the person or the tribe that was made the leader of the country. And those leaders continued to supply the British with what they wanted, and the British was satisfied to look the other way.
Initially, when they got their independence, they had a central government, what they call federal government. The seat of the government was in Lagos. Nigeria had what they call a prime minister, okay? And the prime minister was the head of the government, the federal government. The prime minister was the boss.